So hey, welcome to your practice today. So I have some strength poses in mind here today. So lots of down dog, lots of planks. Just remember, you can take breaks whenever you need to take breaks. Do what you need to do to cushion and comfort your hands. And make sure your core is engaged. Always, always, always. Enjoy your practice.
So we'll come to a comfortable seat here, taking inner thigh rotation, and then engaging through the core. Remember to keep the core engaged the entire time. Lifting your pelvic floor, pulling your lower belly in and up, sitting tall through your sides, and relax into your hips and shoulders, bringing your awareness to your breath, and gently slowing, smoothing, and deepening out your breath. Remembering to stay engaged through the core, connected to this breath here. Let's extend the arms out to the sides, and on an inhale, reaching them up, exhaling to bring them back down again. We'll do that again. And then once more. With the inhale, lift them back up again. And this time exhale just your right hand back to the mat, giving yourself a little tip over to the right side, keeping the pelvis rooted. Stay long through your spine. Take a big breath. And with the next inhale, bring yourself back up to the middle. And we'll exhale, taking the left hand to the mat and tipping over to the left. Big full breath here. Inhaling center. Once again over to the right. And this time maybe slide in there a little deeper. Inhaling back to the middle. And then switching over to the left again. Inhaling back up. And then exhale, releasing the hands. Taking a little twist here, bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the back. Little baby twist to begin. Keeping the pelvis rooted and the spine tall. Releasing that, come back through the center and take the second side, keeping the spine tall, gentle, easy twist. Releasing back to center. Let's take the first side again. So use your left arm like a second spine, pressing into the floor to sit up tall, and then pulling against the knee with the right hand, winding around from the belly, through the side ribs, to the shoulders. Nice long spine and full breath. Releasing that back to center, same thing to the second side, working into this deeper twist. Release and come back to the middle. And from here, we're going to make our way around onto all fours. Take a moment if you need to cushion your hands or knees. Spread the fingers wide and engage evenly through the four corners. Moving in through cat-cows here, inhale the belly toward the mat, and exhale to round the spine toward the ceiling. Follow your breath in and out of those two poses. Gently working deeper into the spine, if and when you're ready. And from here, we'll come to neutral. Taking the hands a handprint ahead or the knees a knee print back, depending on where you are on your mat, make your way into kneeling plank. Take a moment, even on the four corners of the hands, the spine is nice and long, hips are in line with the shoulders and the knees. And then bending into the elbows here, drop on down to your belly. Slide the hands out from underneath the shoulders, bringing them next to the side ribs. And then we're just going to follow the breath. On the inhale, pull the shoulders up by the ears, together on the back and down toward the hip bones. And exhale, release that back to the mat. So just continuing to roll, inhaling as you roll up, exhaling as you release down. And maybe you can work a little deeper into the shoulders, and maybe you'll open up into a little bit deeper baby cobra. But letting this be all about the shoulders for right now. Releasing that down and resting, we're going to add the arms in a little bit here. So hands next to the side ribs, the elbows pull in, the pelvis turns toward the floor. And then we roll into our shoulders like we did. This time pull with the hands, like you're going to pull your belly button forward. And then you can press into the hands as long as the shoulders stay back and the elbows stay in. Gently release that back to the mat. Pressing into the knees, lift just the pelvis up off the floor, just a tiny little bit. Push into the hands, lift the chest up into your kneeling plank, and then back into a child's pose. Let the arms stretch, let the spine lengthen. Grounding the four corners of the hands here. Let's make our way up into a down dog. And of course, let yourself move and stretch. And begin to settle into your down dog then, pressing through the heels, taking the chest back, engaging strongly through the four corners of the hands. Following your breath, with an inhale, slide forward, come into plank. And on the exhale, take it back into down dog again. So you're just going to come forward and back like that, connected to the breath. If you need the knees on the mat, you can basically move from a kneeling plank into child's pose and back and forth like that. Let's go one more like that, forward and back. And then dropping down to the knees, go ahead and take a child's pose. So you can continue to work like that, forward and back, just in the planks, or we can add on. Remember, you can add in and then subtract, of course, right? So make your way back into your down dog. Maybe knees forward and back, maybe straight forward and back. Maybe lift the right leg straight back, keeping the hips square, the belly in. We're going to do the same thing. Inhale, slide forward, plank. Exhale, back into your three-legged dog. So keeping the right toes up off the floor. The left knee can be on the floor if it needs to be. One more. And then release the right foot. And we'll switch sides. So lift the left leg straight back. Hips square, belly pulled in. And when you're ready, inhale, slide forward. Exhale, back to down dog. Left toes up off the floor. They do not have to be high. One more time. Back to your three-legged dog, and then release. Dropping down to the knees, go ahead and sit back in child's pose again. Adding on one more time if you choose to add on. Lifting up into your down dog again. You choose, maybe knees down, forward and back, up, forward and back. Lifting the leg this time. Right leg lifts back. This time allow the hip to open. The toes are going to lift a little higher. Work to keep your shoulders square. Make sure your belly's pulled in. Sinking through the left heel. And then take your legs straight, square your hips up again here. Keeping the right toes up off the floor, slide forward into three-legged plank and press back three-legged dog, releasing the right foot back to the mat. Working the same idea on the second side. Lift the left leg. Let the hips open so the toes are high. Bend the knee, maybe pointing up. Shoulders square. Taking the legs straight, square your hips again. Keeping the toes up off the floor, slide forward. And then back, three-legged dog. Releasing the left foot. And then again here, dropping down to the knees and taking child's pose. So then again, making our way into down dog. Take a quick shift forward into plank. Make sure your hands and feet are the proper distance apart. Lifting the hips back to down dog. Step the left foot roughly halfway to the hands. Toes turn out to the left. We roll to the outside edge of the right foot. Left hand either to the hip or to the ceiling. Working in this modified side plank, make sure your belly's pulled in. Four corners of the right hand into the mat. Releasing that, make your way back to down dog. And work the second side. So bringing the right foot halfway up. Turn the toes out, roll to the outside of your left foot, and the right hand to the hip or up toward the ceiling. Stacking the shoulders, stacking the hips, leaning on the right leg only as much as you have to. And then back to our down dog again. Dropping down to the knees, go ahead and take just a couple breaths here in child's pose. And then back to down dog again. This time, we're going to take the right foot and step to the outside of the right wrist. Step back, down dog. Same thing on the left side. Step the left foot to the outside of the left wrist. And then back to down dog. Don't panic if it doesn't quite make it all the way. We're going to do that same thing on the right side again. This time hold here for a moment and just kind of maybe wiggle around into your hips a little bit. Stretching a little deeper into the hips. Keep the back leg straight and strong. You can have the knee on the floor if you need. And then let's step back to down dog. Same idea on the second side. The left foot steps forward. And we wiggle around into our hips a little bit here. Stepping back into down dog. This time here, let's go ahead and take the right foot, and we're going to step between the hands, coming into traditional lunge. You can drop the left knee if you'd like. Let's take the right leg straight. Nice big fold over the right leg, keeping the hips square. Bend into the knee. Let the hips come low. The left knee again on the mat if you need. We're going to lift the upper body up, reaching the arms up. Exhale and take yourself back into your lunge and step back into down dog. Same thing here with the second side. Go ahead and step the left foot to the hands, coming to lunge, toes to fingers. When you're ready, the left leg straight. Nice big fold over the leg. Squaring the hips, lengthening your spine. Bending into the knee again here. And then taking the arms, lifting the upper body, reaching. And release it back down over into your lunge again. Back to down dog. From here, instead of just dropping the knees, bend the elbows back and drop down to your forearms. Pressing the chest back toward the thighs. And then dropping the knees down and sitting back in child's pose. So we're going to work with planks again, but this time they're going to be forearm planks. As you're ready, bringing yourself up onto your forearms and knees, grabbing the outside edge of the opposite elbow, bringing the elbows up underneath the shoulders. You can take Sphinx arms or interlace the fingers out front. Press down into the forearms, pull the elbows toward each other, and then step the feet back and make your way into plank. So check in that your hips are not too high or too low. The body's a nice straight line from the crown of the head all the way through the back of your heels. Belly's pulled in, supporting the lower back. Let's take it down to the knees and sit back into child's pose again. And remember, you can add on or not. Back into your forearm position. Make sure the elbows are up underneath the shoulders. Adjust the forearms where you want them. Belly's pulled in, step the feet back again. Arms are active, chest. Lift the left foot away from the floor. Doesn't have to be high. Hold and release. Lift the right. And release. Drop the knees and sit back and rest. So of course, one more. Again, take modifications, sit it out entirely if you'd like. Shift back to your forearms and knees. Elbows up underneath the shoulders. Forearms where you want the forearms. Press down, pull together, activate the belly, and step the feet back to your plank. Maybe this time, lift the left leg. Take it out to the side, gently tap your toe on the floor. Come back to the middle and release. Second side, lift the right. Take it out to the right there. Tap the toe onto the mat Bring it back and release it down. This time down to the knees and all the way down to the belly. Make a little pillow for your head with your hands. Let yourself rest here for a moment. And then working into Locust. The feet are going to stay on the floor for now, tailbone turning toward the mat. Arms down by your sides or maybe interlaced behind your back if you like. Roll your shoulders just like we did earlier in our cobra, gently lifting the chest away from the mat. Breathe. And release. Making the little pillow for your head again and allowing your upper body to rest. Keep the tailbone turning down toward the floor. Engage the legs here, so spread your toes really wide and imagine extending through the big toe toward the wall behind you. Use your hamstrings more than your glutes to lift your legs away from the floor. Don't worry about high, straight, long, keeping your lower back long. And then releasing back to the mat. Let's put that together. Taking the arms down by your sides. Ground the pelvis into the floor. Interlace the fingers behind the back if you want. Roll into your shoulders to lift your chest. Using the hamstrings to lift your legs away from the floor. If you're breathing into your belly, you may find that you rise and fall with the breath. Let that happen. And then release. Make the little pillow for your head with your hands. Turn your toes to point toward each other and then just a nice easy little rock side to side on your hips. Shake out your back. And then coming center here, let's extend the left arm out, hand in line with the shoulder. We're going to begin to roll to the left until you feel enough shoulder stretch. The right foot can come flat to the floor behind the body. Maybe both feet can come flat to the floor and the hips lay on the mat. Maybe you're just happy to be rolling to the left. Listen to your body. And then we'll release. Make your way back to center. Switching sides here, extend the right arm out, hand in line with the shoulder, trying to keep it there. And when you're ready, begin to roll to the right. You roll as far as you need to until you feel a nice stretch. And then we'll release that and come back to the center again. Tucking the arms in here, go ahead and gently roll yourself over onto your back. Resting with the feet flat on the floor, lengthening through your spine here. Let's cross the left ankle over the right knee. Keeping the feet flexed, reach back behind your right thigh, interlace the fingers and gently draw that leg in toward your chest. You may notice the spine rounds up here. And for now, let it. Continue to draw in with the arms and now use the leg to press back into the hands. And if your spine did round, allow it to relax into the mat again, dropping the hips and shoulders. Let's release that. Take the feet flat to the floor. And then switch sides, right over left. Keeping the feet flexed to protect the knees, reach back behind the left thigh. and gently pull toward the body. Keep the arms drawing in, and now use the leg to press back into the hands. Push and pull, maybe even so much you shake a little. And then release, taking both feet flat again. Let's bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to open and relax to the sides. Bringing the knees back together. Opening the arms out into a T position here. Take the hips over to the left edge of your mat and drop the knees to the right, relaxing your legs and your shoulders. You can modify that final twist in another way if you like. Bringing yourself back up to center and switching sides, hips right and knees left. Coming back up to the middle. And then gently drawing the knees in toward the chest and allowing yourself to rock. Hugging the knees in tightly here. Draw your forehead to the knees, round up through your spine for a moment. And then release that out into a full body stretch. Fingertips to toes. And then release that stretch, letting the arms come back down by your sides. Take a second to align on the mat, feeling long and rested. Releasing your muscles, releasing control of the breath, and releasing any random thought that wanders into your head here. Giving yourself a few minutes to just simply rest. And remember, you can stay here as long as you'd like. Namaste.